So artificial intelligence, it is not just for tech-savvy teens. It can help you be a better Nana. From writing bedtime stories to planning grandkids get-togethers, my next guest says ChatGPT is the friend Nana didn't know she needed. Michele Bettridge is going to help every Nana level up with AI. You've got some really cute ideas, and I think we should start by maybe taking the intimidation down if we can. Okay. How user-friendly is AI?
It's extremely user-friendly. It's just, we're a little cautious.
Yeah.
With any technology, but there is definitely a concern with grandmas for whatever reason, but I can dissipate that easily.
You're saying lean in.
Yep.
There are other AI engines out there we should acknowledge, but you found ChatGPT to be the most Nana-friendly.
Yeah, I think it does everything that I need it to do, and I have, dabbled in other ones, but I always come back to the ChatGPT.
Don't need to be too techie.
No.
We can do this.
If you can text, you can do this.
If you can text, you can do this. I love it. So first step is to download the app.
So download the app. You can go on your desktop onto chatgpt.com, but it's easiest on your phone because that's where all your photos and things that you take are going to be. So, yep, download the app. And then the next thing, which I didn't know, is to give it a role.
Okay.
So you need to say something like, you are a fun grandma, and I need you to plan blah, blah, blah. Or you are a master storyteller. And then you get a whole different answer from ChatGPT if you give it a role. If
you tell it who it is, and which is really just us expressing our hopes and dreams. You are a fun grandma. I am a fun grandma. I want to be a fun grandma.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you give it a purpose from there.
So then you're going to give it like a prompt to tell it exactly what you want to do. So I'm a fun grandma. I'm planning 4th of July activities, and I need to have maybe games. I want to have a menu. This is how many people are going to be there. And it will give you a menu. It'll give you decorations. It'll give you a theme. It'll give you games. It'll go in just a matter of like 30 seconds.
And if I don't like their ideas, its ideas?
Then you just go ahead and just regroup and just ask a different way or ask a different question.
I've heard it's important to be specific.
Yeah. Be specific so that you can get exactly the, the outcome that you want. Because it is just like any computer, garbage in, garbage out. The more specific you are that you put in, the more happy you're going to be with what the result is.
And then of course you can adjust. You can, I mean, you can have ChatGPT adjust with you for you, but you can also use our human brain and see what of the suggestions works for you.
Yeah, one grandma said to me, is this going to take away my creativity? And I said, really, what it has done is enhanced mine.
Absolutely.
Because I may not go with what they said, but it triggers something for me.
And then can you save the response?
You need to save the response because they will go away. So I either save it to my phone as a picture or I save it to my Google Drive. But I always, and all you have to do is hit an arrow up and hit your Google Drive and it will upload it to that. So make sure that you save.
You mentioned the family 4th of July party. That was one use for ChatGPT that has paid off for you and your family. You had it kind of help you plan?
Yep. So that's one of the projects that I did just most recently. I think my favorite is I created this book called Nana's Life Stories.
Okay.
And so in this book, basically, I told what my 4th of July is like as a child.
Oh,
and I said, you are a master storyteller, and this is how it was for me in this very small town in Idaho, and all the things that we did. And then this is a story about me on my bike, and I asked it to actually draw me an illustration of my bike, and I described the bike. And if I had a picture of the bike from all those years ago, it would look exactly like that.
This gives me like kind of the tender feels when I look at these pictures and know that this is your experience put into words that a child's brain and heart can absorb. This is their Nana.
So when I was doing the 4th of July, it had, I talked about how we didn't have big fireworks in the small town, even though they have it on the picture. It was cute. But we had sparklers. And so the ChatGPT took it to another level and said, I remember the smell of sparklers and writing my name in the air, and I would not have written that myself, but it was perfect. It was exactly what I did.
That's it.
Like, how did you know what I was doing?
Those moments are kind of creepy. Let's not lie.
It is true. It's true. Sometimes I'm wondering if it's really reading my mind. I have to go back and look at the phone because this is very much like the home that I grew in that was really small and very much like the church. And so now my grandkids, you don't have to, when you're writing your life story, you can do it piece by piece, and it takes minutes now. And then you just download it, and it creates the border, everything. You just download it and print it.
Yeah.
So keeping those stories for your grandkids, telling those stories, letting them read them down the road is really super simple
so
now.
This becomes kind of a fictionist expression of what really happened, but still so meaningful for them. You've made coloring pages with ChatGPT?
Yes, and that came from your show. I just remembered that was my first taste of ChatGPT.
Ours too, yeah.
And so I made a coloring book for all, and just was very specific. Like my granddaughter Harper, she is a soccer player, and her number was 10. So I just asked it to be very specific, put her name on her uniform, those kind of things. It's that really specific, specialized, personalized thing is what made that coloring book mean so much to the whole family. And so I sent it to all of them so they could color their cousins, their aunts, their uncles. It just helps them get to know their family a little bit better.
To me, and the coloring books are a good example of what I'm going to try to articulate, but the AI application here for grandmas, for nanas, is such a beautiful enhancement of what they are. You know, someone who sees the grandkids in a personalized way, who knows their interests, their hobbies, their loves, and is able to say, like, look, this is you, I know you, let's have fun celebrating you in full color. And we've even recently adapted it, and I've seen moms do this online too, where it's like your kid or your grandkid with a character, like their favorite Disney princess or their Taylor Swift or whatever. Yeah. So then it becomes even more fun for them to see what grandma's spitting out. Yeah.
We had a picture that we took at, I just did an adventure weekend with them, took a picture of us all in the van. And then you can upload that to ChatGPT and it gives you a coloring page. So then I can send that coloring page to my grandkids and say, thanks for spending the week with me, and then they have something as a memory of that, just something that they can color and just kind of bring back some of those memories. So I think ChatGPT is making you actually become the giddy grandma. I mean, that's my goal, that's my company name, but I really want to be that giddy grandma, and I think this tool allows any grandma to be that, because if anything I've gotten any negative feedback of giddy grandma, it's just, oh, this is so time consuming. Like, how do you do all of this? And how do you do this in work? But ChatGPT just took all of that time and all the perusing of Pinterest down to where I can just do it that fast.
We have a quick 30 seconds. Tell us what you did here.
Yeah. So this was just an idea to do our ancestors on a memory match. So we definitely just downloaded their pictures and was able to do that. We do dolls that we color, and so I was able to take a picture and then it made a cartoon of them.
Look how
so now
cute.
They can just memory match and get to know the faces of their ancestors.
In a personalized and family-focused way. Michele, thank you. If we need a little more help, you've got a Smart Grandma's Guide to using ChatGPT on your site.
Yeah, it's a very simple guide. Just go to thegiddygrandma.com. Put in your email address, make sure you check your spam folder. It seems to go there often, or into promotions, but you'll have a guide and it will walk you through very simple.
I love how you're inspiring grandmas to embrace this new technologies in ways that really matter and strengthen those connections, which I know is your goal. Thank you. Thank you so much.